got this
Mhm.
week. This one's Dead Space has already been announced to do a remake or a redo or a refresh. What are we
It is a
talking about?
remake.
A remake.
So a remake. So they are rebuilding, they're rebooting, they're restarting Dead Space from the ground up. From what
Finally.
it looks like, I know, right? From what it looks like, from that teaser trailer, I don't know if you saw it. The necromorphs are back. There's that sign on the wall that says like cut their limbs off or whatever, and it looks like Isaac Clarke is back, who's like the main dude from Dead Space. That's cool. I know a lot of Dead Space fans, or I know a lot of Dead Space 1 and 2 fans out there. 3 was kind of a disaster, but like it's a popular series. Like I know it's kind of bittersweet, I'll say, because EA basically ran Dead Space into the ground and then closed the company Visceral that made them.
Yeah.
And then now they're like, oh, hey, now EA Motive is going to reboot Dead Space for us. And it's like, or you could have just not screwed it up in the first place. Like that's something.
It's this game and Alien Isolation I have never finished.
Yeah.
I am terrified of these games.
I watched Cinderkin go through 1, 2, and 3. And even watching them, Dead Space 1 and 2 are awesome. Like, I will say that all day. 3 was it was a shooter. That's it. But yeah.
On this trailer, they're talking about how the footage is being, or the capture is actually Frostbite's engine. And Frostbite is basically Division's,
Not Division.
That is
Battlefield.
Battlefield's engine, right?
That's Battlefield. Division was, I think, Snowdrop.
Yeah. Snowdrop. But
Yeah.
if this is gonna look anything like Alien, that the game that I was playing a little while ago, it's like if it looks better than that, that's great. But that kind of style of game definitely like scares the crap out of me, and it's perfect for these kind of games, right? Because the one thing I don't understand, if it's a reboot, or not a reboot, a remake, right? They're basically starting it all over. It's not that he's back. It's just that he's already
No. Like they are basically remaking one.
Okay.
Like from the ground up.
I might have to play
It
Dead
better
Space
be
1.
terrifying.
Oh, I mean, I hope it's terrifying. The first, like the original one back in the day was pretty spooky.
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
just remember that this game was one of the ones that went down in history to upset moms.
Right.
Oh yeah, the commercial for Dead Space 2, I believe.
So if it's going to be anything that's close to what it was, they're not going to go easy on the Gibbs. They're not going to go easy on the terror, right? The worst thing that they can do is make it turn it more actiony than it really is scare game.
Which is kind of what happened with 3.
Right.
Like they came in and said, hey, all the big money right now is in these big fancy co-op shooters, so make one of those. And they were like, that's not what Dead Space is. And they were like, do it anyway.
Yeah.
So
I think
it's like, okay.
I think they have a video. I think it was like War Stories, and I'm watching it right here, where they talk about the entire development of all the Dead Space games, and how they were making decisions on how things would go. And then he does talk about and touches up on Dead Space 3 about how it wasn't exactly what they wanted it to be, but that's how they took it. I think it's a great documentary. If y'all want to watch that, I think it was well put together, and it brought some light into what happened with that IP and where they took it. If you guys want to check that out,
I would also recommend. There's a couple books that are out there. So if you want to read a book or even like listen to the audiobook or something like that, one of the bigger video game journalists out there, usually when we link things from Bloomberg, it's, which is a pay site.
Paywall.
So we always get like, it's paywalled. It's this guy, his name's Jason Schreier. He's a pretty big video games journalist. He's been doing this for ages. He wrote 2 books about the video game industry. They're called Blood, Sweat, and Pixels and Press Reset. And they actually do a really good job of talking about Visceral Games and like their start and the Dead Space series, all 3 of them, like their developments, like all the problems they had, and then their eventual shutdown.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in that, those are really good books.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool though. And then the other thing that they announced over at EA Play is the Battlefield 20.
There was a bunch of stuff, right? So there was a new character for Apex, Grid Legends, Lost in Random, Knockout City Season 2, which I still jump into Knockout City every now and then. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, Battlefield was the other big thing.
Yeah, Battlefield 2042, and then the Portal, what they announced on the teaser trailer, which is basically, from what I gathered from that teaser trailer, was customization game types of anything that you want in Battlefield. So if you wanted,
go on.
If you wanted all melee, you can set up a server just like that, where it's just like melee kills only, or only headshots, or only.
Yeah, think of that Overwatch game builder tool that they came out with.
Gameplay,
Yeah, to where you can basically structure your own Battlefield games. The trailer was really kind of clever the way they did it, because you would have like your modern army guys with your super techy weapons fighting like World War II Nazis with knives.
Right.
You know, and it's like, it was Nazis with knives versus like modern day medics with like defib kits.
Yeah.
And so it was like a melee fight based on that. And I thought it was really clever to see. But yeah, they were talking about like, it's like the game has its own little kind of code program inside of it, and you can just write and create whatever you want.
Yeah, I think they got a lot of great feedback from the 2042 trailer about the whole like jet moves and whatnot.
Yeah.
To where they were like, okay, what were other people doing in some of the other iterations where they had like people jumping their thing and exploding it onto an airplane or something like that, and it was just like, you're doing a lot of fan service here, because instead of the way that you present us Battlefield, this is the way that we play Battlefield, and it's not anywhere near what they intended to happen.
Yeah,
but it's cool.
You know, like a World War I plane versus some little drone-looking things. I think it looks awesome. I am not a creative person at all. I am never going to build anything on this, but as a longtime Battlefield fan, I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, they're showing footage from
1942. Yeah. I started Battlefield in 2. I only played like one game of 1942 ever, but I'm one of those people who thinks if I'm going to play a multiplayer shooter like this, like I would much rather play Battlefield than like Call of Duty.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Battlefield just seems like a more fun, and it's not trying to be as like, what's your KD, bro? Like nobody cares.
Yeah. Like I just like, you know, you get your vehicles, you run around, you can be an engineer and repair tanks all day. You can be a pilot and fly around. I think Battlefield multiplayer is awesome.
Yeah, Battlefield's definitely gonna be fun when this comes out. Now, I don't know if if Portal or any of the Battlefields are gonna have free-to-play modes, so that way they can just have the adoption rate like how Warzone does on their Call of Duty. But that would be a smart move for them to just start stealing away some of that market share for these kind of games. But yeah.
Bros. I like your take, G. Bonk. Okay, it's fixed. Get that animation, weird wrench animation, or the like blowtorch. You just hold it, and then the tank just starts kind of piecing back together. Yeah.
That's how things work.
That's exactly how mechanics work, bro. I mean, come on.
Logic, obviously.
Logic. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, but a lot of cool other titles were announced on here. They also have like the Grid Legends one, which I think is interesting. Grid is definitely one of my favorite racing games, but we'll see how that goes. Lost in Random, it looks like a story-based single-player game, and then Knockout City has been out for a while, but they're doing
Knockout City's not bad. I'll say that. It's a fun little, like, you got 10 minutes to waste, jump into a game or two, dodgeball game. I think it's fun.